Alright folks, so I just got back from North Carolina. Took a little road trip down there and made a little bunch of short videos there, and apologize for the noise. They kind of weren't the greatest quality noise wise, so if you were wearing headphones I kind of apologize for that. But went down there and seen a good friend of mine. He's a good buddy, and mentioned it before, he's got a YouTube channel, After5auto, and had a nice 66 hood here, and get ready to unload this thing, and made it all the way down there and made it all the way back, so that was nice. But that's a really nice hood, I think. Got one little dent right in there, but that ain't nothing. But I can clean that out. I can get up in here. It's a hole back in there, and you should be able to get up in there. And turn our light on here so you can see what I'm talking about. But there we go. I think it's on. I don't think it is. There we go. But yeah, got a little hole right in here. We can probably get up in there and take a hammer and dolly that out. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. But this is a nice, a very nice 66 hood. And I gotta go down there and get that other one. But I think I might take and one of them I might hang up on the wall if I ever build a garage and get a house on my property here. Might hang one up beside that 57 Chevy hood I got. But I'm gonna take and I'm gonna clean this hood up, and we're gonna put on our 67 Chevelle. Well, yeah, I'm right, 67 Chevelle, what the body is. And I'm gonna see if it'll help straighten up some of them body gaps, and we got some issues going on, and see if we can kind of straighten it out a little bit. But I gotta unload this thing, and I kind of got to think about it. I was like, I wish I would have took and kind of wish I would have put a blanket underneath that thing while it was riding up there. Hopefully it didn't tear the paint up too bad, but oh well, it'll be alright. But I gotta get this thing unloaded. It'll be a little interesting, but I'll get it off somehow, one way or another. Just gotta get it off without tearing up the roof on this thing. But it's a really nice hood. I like it. I'm gonna clean it up. I almost thought about stopping at a park at a car wash. Can't talk here, but car wash. A car wash. I thought about taking it to a car wash there, and I was gonna take and unload this thing, and I was gonna hose it out and get all up inside of it, and clean this thing on up, and just throw her on and let her ride. But I believe it's off of Malibu, I think. But unless somebody drilled them holes in there. I know one of them, I can't remember which one is which. I'm sure he's watching right now. But I can't remember if this blue one is off of a 4-door or if it's off a 2-door post. I can't remember 100% sure. But I'm sure you're watching. So correct me in the comment below there. I'll get a notification, I'm sure, later. But I had a good trip down there, and it was really fun. I wished I could have had, you know, my companion with me. But I kind of miss her. But you know, she's going to school to be a nurse, so it's all good. But I wish she could have rode down there. But anyway, this will be a nice hood. We're going to take this hood and we're going to put it on our Chevelle, and I'm going to clean it up and see if I can get that dent and pull it out a little bit. And got a whiskey dent right there. Whiskey dent. And we're going to take that there hood there, and we're going to put it on our Chevelle. If you're wearing headphones, I apologize, because we got Max. He's doing good too. Yeah. Yeah, bud. Huh. Yeah, you guarding that Ford, ain't you, buddy? Yeah. Yep. Alright, let's show our friends here. Alright, calm down now. Calm down. But got this sign too. I've had it for a good long time. I actually bought it when I had my 58 Etzel one time, and that's why it's got a 58 on it instead of a 59. But finally decided to hang that thing on up. So, of course, you know, we don't have an Etzel here, but that's okay. But yeah, I decided to hang that on up, and yeah, just beware. You might get towed. Others will be towed. That's for sure. Yeah, this is it's a 67 body we got here, and the front clip, of course, is a 66, and I got a 67. Well, I got the fenders, and that's pretty much about it. I don't have a radiator support, I don't have inner fenders, and I don't have a hood. I used to have a hood, and you know, me being dumb, I gave it away. But it was a decent 67 hood. I mean, it had some rot in it, but I mean, it was usable. But it was a little rough. But yeah, we're gonna take this whole reproduction stuff off here, and I'm gonna see if I can't, you know, eventually it'll be a little while, but if I can get a radiator support for this thing. And what I mean by radiator support, I mean a original GM radiator support. I don't mind if I got a patch, you know, where the famous rod is. They always rod out where they bolt to the front of the frame right there. But I don't mind dealing with that. That's perfectly fine with me. But I'm gonna try and gather up all the original sheet metal. This is original GM fender and original GM inner fender. Got all that, and I'm talking about undercoating and all that. They undercoated the heck out of everything. Somebody undercoated the heck out of that inner fender there. This thing's all out of focus, but I bought them inner fenders a good while back. There we go, we got it focused a little bit. But yeah, they undercoat the heck out of them things. But I tell you what, they come off a 4-door. They're a 4-door hardtop. That inner fender there, I got the other side too. That's a repop on right there. But I got the original set, original GM set for it. And I got an original driver's side fender too. But now I got a hood, and I got one more I gotta go and pick up. But one of them, like I said, we'll probably take that 57 Chevy hood, and when I build a garage and build me a house, hopefully here soon, I'm gonna take and probably just hang them up. But that's gonna be so much nicer, because that'll get rid of all them gaps. Because I had a reproduction fitter on this side too. Oh, we got this thing all out of focus. Sorry about that. Look at the lighting. Let's fix this. There we go. That'll fix it. I apologize, y'all. My camera work is absolutely horrible. But I put this original fender back on here, and I'll put that inner fender on it. And I mean, that cleaned the gaps right on up. I mean, it's not perfect, but I thought I showed this before, but I mean, the gaps were absolutely just trash. But that looks so much cleaner. I mean, it's a little off. The door needs to come out a little bit this way, but you can see it's, you know, it needs to be combed out a little bit more. But this fender needs to be pushed in a little bit. Kind of got a little bit further out than this pillar right here is. But we're gonna take, and this is the one I'm building, the little mild TBI 350, that 94 TBI 350. We're gonna put that in this. We're gonna put that in this car here, and I'm gonna pull this 283 out. I've mentioned this before, and we're gonna just put it away, and we're gonna save it, because one day I'd like to find me that, if I can get that 2-door post I used to have, I like to save it for that. But we're gonna pull it back out and put that TBI 350 in here, and of course we're gonna put the Sagnol 4-speed and all that back in. We're not gonna change that. But this car will always be, because since I always own it, it will always stay a bare bones car. We're never gonna put, you know, disc brakes or power brakes or power steering or any of that stuff on it. It just, in my opinion, you know, this is kind of a performance car. You know, we don't really need any of that. You know, and no more did it ever get driven. It ain't really worth it, in my opinion. But just to pay all that money to put disc brakes on it, and just to sit, and the rotors just get rusted all to pieces, and you know, everything just kind of go bad. But that's why I'm pulling this 283 out. It's nothing wrong with it. It's a perfect, I mean, it's a real good motor. I mean, it's a very well built, and the machine shop I had do it, it was done back in 2010, and I didn't like that it was bored 60, but it's got a steel crank in it, and it's 10 to 10 on the rods and main bearings there. And I also had the block, they line hoed the block too, and I had quite a bit of work done to it. But it's got regular old flat tops in it with 4-valve reliefs instead of the 2, but that's kind of standard now. I kind of always run a flat top with just the 2 now. It's just, even my Durango, if I ever overhaul the motor now, I'm going to put the flat top with just the 2 on there. It's just kind of standard now. Just like the roller camshafts, and I'm not, trying to talk bad about them or anything, but I like flat tablet cam, and ain't nothing wrong with them. They're really budget friendly, that's for sure. But I might end up, I actually got one, a solid flat tablet camshaft for my 89 white F-150 over here. Look, this thing's all out of focus. I actually got it for that, and it's a Howard's cam, and I never did put it in. It's got, it's on up there. I mean, it's not horribly crazy, but it's about almost 500 lift. I think it's like 480 and either 480 or 490 lift, something like that. I don't remember the duration or anything like that, but I got a solid one I'm gonna put in that 302 for that 89. Till I can find a 351 Windsor, if I can find that, and then or either find the well, I got 2 engines I gotta find yet. I gotta find a 351 Windsor, and I gotta find a 427 tall deck. But it's 2 of them that I'm trying to find. But anyway, enough about this. I've been blabbing, trying to get a little better about that, and not have, look at this. This camera work is absolutely horrible here. Look at that. There we go. But this is what I was showing there. So I'm gonna put that original fender. I said fender, but that original hood and fender back on this car. I got a nice original. It's got a little rot in the bottom, but we're gonna put all the original sheet metal back on this car, and that should just take out some of these absolutely horrible gaps. That's just absolutely, that's unacceptable. I know it ain't bolted down at the bottom, I can push it in. That's just where it ain't got that clip and it ain't bolted up. But even then, this fender is maxed out. Look, it's just about against this pillar right here. And I know I can come in here and I can notch these. You got a bolt that goes under behind this door here, and then you got another one that goes on this side. But it really ain't. It's, well, I would show y'all, but it's hitting the firewall there, and then just this fender's maxed out as far as it's going to go, pretty much. And you couldn't even, I wouldn't even want to move the door up. Even if you leave the fender alone and try and move the door up to correct that, to even that out, that's going to make it worse, because then you're going to have a heck of a gap back here, and it's just, that gap is, it ain't perfect, but I got it as good as I can get. The door needs to go up a little bit, but I got that pretty close there. I'm not kind of proud of it in one way, but I'm not either. So, but I'd say it's pretty good. It's pretty crisp. It's pretty even with the rocker there. It might need to come out just a shade, but them gaps are much tighter. That's much better. And I got probably 6 sets of doors, I'm gonna say. That's counting these. So I probably realistically got about 5 different sets. But these are the best ones. I went through them and picked the best ones for it. But yeah, we're going to put that TBI 350 in here, and I'm still kind of leaning towards a solid cam, a solid roller cam, I should say. And, we're going to make it a full roller and all that good stuff. I'm kind of getting a little practice now, in quotations there, on that Vortec 5.7 that's in my C10 right now. So I'm kind of getting a little practice there on that, kind of seeing what's what. And then I know on that TBI engine, what I'm going to run into, and I won't be kind of blind about it. And not trying to talk bad about machine shop, but I don't believe in talking bad about that. But it's just, I've checked in valve guides and all that, and they were saying, oh, it'll be okay, then I've heard, oh, nah, you need to trim them down, and blah 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 blah, and you need to turn them down so they'll clear the valve spring retainer and all that good stuff, or something something, you know, you got to make sure your clearances are right, that's for sure. But I measured them and everything, and they are definitely taller, so that's for sure. So you definitely want to turn them down a little bit. I mean, if you're going to run a, you know, a higher lift cam and everything, and I'd want to turn them down anyway, so that way you can put umbrella seals on it instead of them old, you know, crappy O-rings that burn out, and you look at them, they're all just poof, literally they flake apart. I can't tell you how many times I done took a pick and went in there and just literally just pushed it and just fell right off because all that heat, just especially on the exhaust valves. I mean, it falls apart and everything else. Especially if it's an engine that's got a lot of miles on it, it's crazy. But this 283 I think has the umbrella seals in it. I think it does. I can't remember, but it definitely don't have the exhaust rotators on it. I know they're definitely. I didn't tell him to do that, but those were definitely ditched. So you know, we got rid of all that stuff. So they don't have that little you know, small kind of air. And well, it might have been. I think it was in the 60s too. I don't know if it was in the early small blocks like the 55, 6, 7, like the 265s. But we got them little rotators on top of the exhaust valves, and it's supposed to spin and you take some of the friction out and the heat out better and blah 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 blah. But I know this 283 had them, and the machine shop, we got rid of all that stuff because you really don't need them. I think it's got Z28 springs on it. I can't remember, but I didn't order nothing for this engine except for the oil pan, the timing cover, and that intake and the water pump. That's it, and the exhaust manifolds. But everything internal, they had the machine shop. They ordered all that stuff. So, but it's probably got an Engine Tech flat top pistons in it, which that's okay, you know. But it is 60. But y'all, kind of rambling on here, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to get all these gaps straightened out, and that's why I'm pulling this 283 and the 4-speed out of this car, because I'm going to take this front clip back off, and I'm going to put all the original stuff back on, because I don't like seeing rot at a fender like that. But I tell you what, I'd much rather have a nice original fender that's straight like that than have to deal with just, you know, ugliness like all this over here. And it's just, I mean, it's just unacceptable. I mean, that looks absolutely just ridiculous. I think is the way it was stamped, and it's just, I mean, I see a lot of body shops, they'll go in there and they'll just take, you know, they'll take the fender, just push it in, line it up the best they can, and then they'll just go in there and take a piece of sheet metal and just, you know, they'll close that gap up. They just weld it to it like this all the way down, and they just make the gap, close it up that way. I've seen that done too. But I just ain't gonna piddle around with all that. I got good original fenders, and now I got a good original hood now, and we're gonna put everything back original. I'd just much rather deal with original sheet metal than have to pull my hair out, you know, trying to deal with this old repop stuff. And I'm not trying to talk bad about it, you know, it's nothing like that. It's just, you know, part of the reason too is this body is still never been lined up correctly. I'm gonna have to find a frame or something. I'm gonna figure out something on that, because I know it ain't right, because this body is not original to this chassis, chassis here. So I don't know, I think it got rear-ended or something, but I don't know what's going on. It's pile of issues. But if I can get this front end, get this all this issues taken care of up here and close all them gaps up, then that'll at least tell me that I know that everything is lined up from the fender all the way back to the quarter panel. And that'll pretty much tell me right then and there, especially if all the braces on the floor pans are all bolted up like supposed to be and all them are lined up. That's pretty much going to tell me that all the issues is going to be in the frame back here, which I think they had to rear end it. Not this body, but the actual chassis. Because this frame was actually supposedly came off a 66 Super Sport, and of course the body's a 67. And that door, I think, is a 67 door right there. And there is a slight difference between a 66 and 67 door, if a lot of people might not know that. But I can't really show it on this one. So I might have to go to the passenger side. I'm pretty sure this door right here is a 67 door. Now I know for a fact, because the doors that I got from the feller that I bought this car off back in 2013. Well, technically I bought this car in 2012, but I didn't actually have it, we'll say, legally in there and all that good stuff, title and all that stuff, and paid for until 2013. So I had to make payments on this car. I had to make payments on a $400 car. I paid $400 for this car, and yeah, I was making payments on it. I was only I just getting ready to turn 21. I was 21 years old when I bought this car. It's crazy, but if you look right here, this is a 66 door, and you can kind of look right here and kind of tell. But you come underneath your vent glass. What am I talking about? I'm thinking that Biscayne. There, you get that Biscayne out of my mind. But if you come and look at your window regulator right here, and you come straight down, you got a bolt right here, and then you come and look right here. Let me turn the light on. These doors are actually date coded, and it has, it's hard to see, but it is A, which is January the 1st, and it is a 6. It's hard to see it, but it is there. But and that's like, it's supposed to be a screw, so kind of ignore that. It looks like a stamp. Somebody tried to stamp a screw in there, if that makes sense. That's the emboss, I guess, so to speak, when they, you know, stamp it on there. But it reads A16, so that's January 1st, 1966. Huh, this is a New Year's Eve door. That's crazy, but yeah, that is right. It is a 6, but that's one way you can tell if it's a 66 or 67 door. And you can also tell what year body this car is too. If you come back up here on the passenger side, and right in this corner right in here, I probably got a bunch of dirt and garbage and everything else. But you can come in here, ouch, in this corner. And this is hard to see, but it's about right in this area right here. And it'll be a partial VIN there. But look, I'm pointing up there and I'm looking down here. It's camera work kind of, we gotta get better on that. But it's actually right in here. You can see a partial of it right there. But this is a Baltimore car anyway. But it'll be a partial VIN right in this corner here. And there's another one about in the center of the rocker panel too, on the driver's side. I'm not sure on the passenger side, but it's about right in here. Look, we're getting blurry again. You gotta go underneath the rocker panel, and it's about right in that center of it, right in there. But you're underneath though, and it'll be a little partial VIN there too. And then I think it's one more somewhere else. I can't quite remember. Oh, yep, I do remember now. I can't remember 100%, but it's on the cow, and it is, I think this fender would have to be taken off, but it's up underneath this. If you take this fender off, it's on the cow, and it'll have a partial VIN. And that's where you can kind of find, I think it might have a date code right there too when the body was actually made. But yeah, a lot of y'all, if y'all didn't know that, but of course somebody hacked the rocker panel off this side, and I did not do that. It's been like this. I got the car running and driving. I redid the brakes and everything on it, and everything mechanically has been gone through, except for probably that rear end and our front suspension. But well, honestly, the front and rear, the whole suspension and the rear end's probably the only things that really need to be redone that's left on the car. I mean, besides getting wheels and tires for it. But I mean, everything's been gone through that 283, the 4-speed and everything else. And but I'm gonna put that TBI 350 in here and kind of upgrade this car a little bit. And I love my 283s, I really do. I love them, and I would keep that in here. But it's kind of special to me, and I really don't want to, I just don't want something to happen to it, and I want to save it, because one day if I ever get that 2-door post, or I find me a 2-door post, or honestly I'd rather just find the original 2-door post that 283 come out of and put it back in there so it can be put back correct and be a original numbers matching car again. I mean, it's just a 2-door post, but that's kind of why I want to pull it out too. But I mean, I'm not rich or anything like that. Like I said, I'm a shade tree guy. But I want to pull it back out and just kind of save it, because I don't want it to get ruined. And it's kind of sitting in the weather, and obviously can't drive the car. I mean, that's why we're pulling it out. Now it's got to come out anyway, because this whole front end, we got to take this thing back off, and we got to address all these issues, because it's a complete disaster. And I bought reproduction hood hinges for this thing and springs, but it's just absolutely horrible. I mean, I know they'll settle eventually, but the hood was sitting up higher, and just sitting up higher than the fender. Then you try and adjust it and play with it and try and take your hood hinge, like if you're looking at that side, and kind of rotate them down like that, so it kind of pulls the hood down a little bit. I mean, I'm not no body man, but I know a couple little things like that. But I'll just kind of turn them clockwise like that. It'll kind of pull that hood down a little, so your hood ain't sitting higher than your fender there. But I mean, I tried everything. It's a mess, and we're going to take in. That's why I'm putting all the original sheet metal back on it. And in my personal opinion, it makes it that much better of a car. I'd rather deal with a bunch of rot in a nice original GM fender than I would having repop stuff. Because I mean, I was seriously thinking about, at one time, I was going to take and buy every part for this car. And because I got this fender too. I got a repop fender for that side too. And I got repop bumpers. I got an original set of 66 bumpers. No, 67s. Yeah, I don't have a 66 original front bumper, but I got a 66. And a bunch of, I think 2 or 3 67 rear bumpers. And I got original brackets to it too, which don't get the repop brackets. I mean, these DM ones right here, ain't nothing wrong. And these got dates on them too. I can't remember exactly where it's at. These are front ones here. But these are rear ones. There used to be a partial vent on these too. I don't know if it was a partial vent. Yeah. Nah, I think I touched on it wrong. There's a number. It might just need a stamping number. There's a number there. It's 3872192-R. Yeah, 3872192-R. That's probably right hand. That's probably what that means, is R. And this one's probably got an L on it, I'm assuming. Yep. Yep, got an L right there. Sure does. Same